morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost, and you're tuned into episode 96 of the fastest growing podcast in the world, 4 away from the 1 century mark. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, save it to your device, and send it to a loved one or an arch nemesis. If you're watching on YouTube, which, well, you should be. Isn't that right, Gengar? Because it's the #1 way to consume the Good Luck Show. You're going to hit that like button, smash the ever-loving fuck out of that subscribe button, and grease up that algorithm by leaving a comment. Because you're an oil man. Eh? Let's get into the week. I'd love to lie and say I've had a crazy productive week, but guys, I just keep buying Pokemon cards. My week has pretty much consisted of just going to card shops around LA and spending money on them. Just a full-blown addiction at this point. It is a problem. I do need to seek therapy, maybe have an intervention at some point, but for now, just going to keep on keeping on. I'm wearing a really nice limited edition Mitchell & Ness Detroit Pistons jacket today. Can you guys see? I mean, look at that. The old school teal. The Grant Hill teal. And that's going to transition us into our first story of the day. We're kind of just getting right into it, right? We're going to talk about a new partnership with Ticketmaster and Fanatics. That's right. Fanatics, the leading sports merchandise company, is partnering up with Ticketmaster, the dominant ticketing monopoly, to launch the Fanatics Ticket Marketplace. This collaboration allows users to purchase resale tickets alongside apparel, merchandise, trading cards, and collectibles directly through the Fanatics app. And guys, I mean, we're a couple minutes in, but we're jumping right into the Pit Viper Mega Rant.
Pit Viper Mega Round! Pit Viper Mega Round!
Yeah. And why is that? Because Fanatics and Ticketmaster teaming up is the 2 most evil companies in sports and entertainment teaming up to fuck your wife in front of you. Yeah, they're just tag teaming and Eiffel Towering the woman of your dreams right in front of you. This is the most evil collaboration maybe ever. I mean, it's like when Cersei Lannister and Euron Greyjoy teamed up in Game of Thrones. It's like Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. This is like Ticketmaster being the Dark Sidious of live entertainment, taking Darth Vader, the young visionary, under their wing to merge inflated ticket prices with overly thin, shitty merch, and then slapping a bunch of fucking fees on top of it. Fees on top of fees. 2 super monopolies joining forces to create a mega super monopoly, the Megatron monopoly. Monopoly Megatron. It's like capitalism final boss. This is the new Axis powers. Do you understand? This is like when Hitler and Mussolini, like the first time they fucking shook hands. That's what this is like. I mean, I can't even express how evil this is going to be. Do you understand? I mean, when's the Ticketmaster United Healthcare collab? When are they announcing the Ticketmaster Lockheed Martin partnership? Both of these companies have faced monopoly criticism. I mean, Ticketmaster is literally in the middle of an antitrust lawsuit with the Department of Justice right now. Right now. And they said, hey, what better time to announce another monopoly partnership to add to our monopoly folio? I mean, it's going to be Oh, is there no break? Can we not get a single break? With limited competition, prices for ticketing and merch are now both about to rise again, making it more expensive for fans to not only attend events, but buy related products and merch and things that they enjoy. I mean, and not only that, do you guys like service fees? Would you like a service fee with a side of service fees? I mean, it's absolutely diabolical. Evil incarnate. Blow it up. Blow it all up. Anyway, that's going to conclude our Pit Viper Mega Rant for today.
Pit Viper Mega Round. Pit Viper Mega Round.
Our main story today is about Spotify again, but not in the way that it was last week. I want you to consume this story with an open mind and put your nuance pants on, because it's a little bit loaded and there's a lot of different angles to it, right? So we're going to go over it today as a class. Yeah? All right. So Spotify is set to introduce a remix feature for paid subscribers later this year. They're coming out with that new tier, like the super subscription or whatever the fuck it's called. Spotify God tier, whatever. And in this tier, users will be able to remix songs and release them. They'll be able to speed them up, slow them down, yada, 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 and they'll have control over this to create their own remixes of songs. Artists, does this bother you? Well, you don't have a choice, probably. Yeah, you probably don't have a choice in the matter. And we're going to talk about why. So, first, let's say you're a signed artist. Well, all labels are going to opt into this because they have a deal with Spotify. So, of course they're going to, like we talked about last week. Also, when you sign your record deal, you're allowing them, the label, to exploit derivative works, which would be, you guessed it, remixes. And if you're an independent artist, but you use an independent distributor like DistroKid or TuneCore, guess what? You also signed this away, because in that agreement, in that terms of service, you're also probably giving right to derivative works. Now, you technically own the copyright of this because it's still your work. However, DistroKid and TuneCore, you're automatically opted into Spotify by distributing through them. Another extreme example of this, because we're currently seeing, I mean, this has been a thing on TikTok for over a year, where these remixes are blowing up, and it's very difficult to track them because people are creating all these different mashups and remixes and putting them out there, and people are getting fucked over in the process of this. We'll get to that in a moment. Too Lost, which is another independent distributor, they have their own issue going on right now because Too Lost signed over their entire catalog to an app called Hook. Maybe you've heard of this app, maybe not. But Hook is an app where people can, they have a library of songs and they can fucking create remixes in the app of those songs, which is really cool for users, but not cool if you distributed through Too Lost and you didn't want your song on this app. You didn't have a say in the matter. They just went ahead and did it for you. Right? And again, how do we know that this is being properly tracked and these royalties are being collected properly? Not just for the artist, because I think everybody thinks of the artist, but the songwriters and the producers and the publishers. Are they getting their money? Now, this whole strategy that Spotify is rolling out, this remix feature, they allegedly are going to have a way to quote unquote properly compensate the rights holders. So their claim is that they'll be able to track this, but this only works if it also is tracked for publishers. Like, again, that's great if the artists are getting their, or if the master recording, it's being collected. But the publishing, which is how songwriters make their money, that also needs to be taken care of. So the obvious thing we got to talk about is copyright and royalty implications. You know, like the complexities of determining fair compensation for the original creators. It's very difficult. And companies like BMI and ASCAP, you know, their technology is clearly pretty limited as to how they collect all this. And as I talked about with TikTok, like there's an issue right now still, and in all these different platforms on Instagram Reels, etc., collecting is just really hard. So like I'm not quite sure how Spotify plans on doing this because, you know, traditionally releasing remixes requires obtaining permissions from original rights holders and getting both the mechanical and master use license from either the label or the artist if they're independent. Now, I don't know if Spotify's new feature is going to address these licensing requirements or just allow public sharing of remix content. Like there's so many questions as to how this is going to work. And then also, you know, this is for artists, like if you're an artist that is cool with this, tight. But most artists, again, aren't going to have a say in the matter. And like, what if you don't want some shitty remix of your song made? Or a bunch of shitty remixes of your song? Because allowing users to alter songs is probably going to lead to a lot of versions that don't align with the original vision of the creators. And most importantly, could sound like shit, right? So like, how does it look if the DSPs are just flooded with like dog shit remixes of a song? And like the first time you're hearing the song is some horrible remix. And then I'm like, well, this song sucks. You know, this artist sucks. I don't want to hear this. I mean, what if someone mashes up your song with like a Hitler speech? You know, like how David Guetta did the I Have a Dream MLK mashup. What if someone mashes it up with something horrible? And then it's like, oh, I guess Gino the Ghost is a Nazi. Obviously an extreme example, but, you know. Now, so here's the thing. First, I'm going to have a sip of unbranded water. And then I'm going to get to the pros, okay? Now, look. The pros of this. You might think knee-jerk reaction, I'm against this. You would think, right? However, there are a lot of benefits to having a bunch of remixes made to your songs because remixes and mashups are huge promo drivers for records. Like so many songs lately have been blowing up because of the remix. These songs are exploding on TikTok and Instagram, right? Like these trending audios. And fans want these songs on DSPs, but a lot of times they aren't. They can't get on there. Which is a problem for the artist who could be collecting money if they were allowed on DSPs. Does that make sense? I mean, and you got to think like some of the biggest songs of the last few years have been driven by the remix. Like think of Roses by St. John. Like a rose. The song that blew up was a remix. And then everybody was like, oh, this is the original song? And they found the original song, and then St. John blew up, you know? Or like that Lana Del Rey song. What was that song called? Summertime Sadness. a remix blew up of it. Or currently, right now, there's an Ariana Grande Promiscuous Girl mashup that has like 25 million streams on YouTube and is like blowing up. Like, these are huge marketing drivers that cost $0 for the artist and the label to have, you know. It reminds me of like what this could be, what this Spotify remix feature could be. It could be like a mixtape era moment. I don't know if you guys remember in the mixtape era, but like artists were putting out so much free shit, like mixtape after mixtape after mixtape for free on DatPiff and all these different websites, and they were making no money on it. But it was such good marketing, and it would drive, you know, it was free, really. It was free marketing for the artist, and it would drive traffic to the album and help the artist pop off. And so, you know, it's like in a nightmare scenario where royalties aren't being properly tracked, it still could be a net positive for artists because of how much free promo you're getting in the UGC, like from UGC. However, for songwriters, once again, absolutely fucked. The short end of the stick, because there's no benefit to a songwriter. Like, you're getting all this great promo and marketing for the artist. Well, guess what? That doesn't put any fucking money in my pocket. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on this until we get more clarity on how Spotify plans to track these releases. Because if it's just a fucking wild, wild west and this is like big evil tech bro takeover once again, I'm going to be fucking pissed and I'm going to put the pitties on and we're going to revisit this take. But for now, I think creating new ways for artists to monetize in this ever-evolving technological hellscape is a good thing. Because Lord knows that streaming doesn't pay shit. Okay, so if they can create new creative revenue streams for artists and songwriters and producers in the UGC era, in the TikTok, Instagram Reels era, then I think it's a net positive. But we'll see. So, yeah, I mean, that's that's all I got to say on that. And guys, we got a jam-packed FOH HOF this week. It's the Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame, and we've got a couple of bangers in store for you, don't we? Wow. And we're getting right into it. I mean, this might be the earliest we've jumped into the FOH HOF on the show. And it's because it's just such a spicy one, right? So, our first video, I don't know if I've ever had this gentleman on this show, which is shocking to many. Maybe once, I can't remember. In fact, I think I have. But it's Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, you will know in about 2 seconds. Let's just get to the clip, yeah? Here we go.
I own, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses and a bunch of commercial real estate as well. How is that not greed? Because I don't own anything. I'm a Christian. And that means God owns it, and I'm managing it for him. So I guess you're calling God greedy now.
Okay, so devil's advocate, what would you say if Greg was like, well, Dave, why do you need so many houses? Why don't you just give all that extra money away?
I'm managing money for God. That's my job.
This is the...
Yeah. All right. I mean, this one's going to be too easy. I mean, Dave threw me the oop here like D Wade to LeBron. You know it's coming, but it's still going to hit like Fent, It's still going to hit like fucking wet heroin when I do it. You know what I'm talking about. Let's watch this video one more time. I'm just loading it up, I'm just loading it up.
I own, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses and a bunch of commercial real estate as well. How is that not greed? Because I don't own anything. I'm a Christian.
Right.
And that means God owns it, and I'm managing it for him. So I guess you're calling God greedy now.
Okay, so devil's advocate, what would you say if Greg was like, well, Dave, why do you need so many houses? Why don't you just give all that extra money away?
I'm managing money for God.
Yeah. I'm not making the passive income from these homes. I'm simply managing the money for him. Homes with a capital H. You know? Officer, I'm not robbing this bank. Jesus is. I'm simply handling the transfer for God. Christ is robbing it, and I am merely his vessel. Officer, these are not my narcotics. This is Jesus's cocaine, and I'm simply spreading the good word. I'm a messenger for Christ. I mean, the gaslighting is off the charts here. Oh, I guess you're calling God greedy then. Oh, should I tell the big man upstairs you think he's a greedy bastard? No, I'll do that. No, I'll do that. No, next time I talk to him, next time we have our 15-minute Zoom call to go over his investment properties, I'll be sure to mention you think he's a greedy bastard. I mean, have you read the scripture? Philippians 10:30. And he shall invest in property, 10 homes before reaching 30 years of age, and so that he may achieve passive income in his name. Because here's the thing, if you can, because Jesus, I don't know if you knew this, but Jesus was a carpenter, right? And so Jesus, he built 10 homes before 30, and he not only turned water into wine, but he turned a portfolio of 10 homes into 10,000 homes. He turned a one-bedroom into a triplex, a dual-family triplex. In his name, amen.
I own, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses.
So rich, he doesn't even know how many houses he has. I don't know, fucking 15, 20, 25. I don't know. I can't even keep track. Which, by the way, all right, dude, cool, man. Good for you, dude. There's nothing wrong with owning 10, 20, 15, 30 homes. In fact, you should, especially if you're under the age of 30. If you're over the age of 30 and you don't own 10 homes, well, it's time to repent. Yeah. In fact, I would argue if you don't own 10 homes before 30, it's because you're not a devout Christian. You need to give your life to God so that he may give you a real estate portfolio. Unless you want to be a renter forever, right? Until you take up a lifetime lease in hell. Where you will be propertyless, and you will be paying property tax with no mortgage to Satan himself. And now we're moving on. Okay. Next video. Here we go. Let's get right into it. Oh, this one's going to be fun. Oh, I've been chomping at the bit all week to do this one. Here we go.
This isn't what you're walking into when you get over to your boy's house. You need new friends. Rico's on a call. Elias is on a call. Nick's on a call. Everybody's locked the fuck in here, dog. I bet if I go in the office, we got more people locked in. Let's see.
Lock the fuck in, dude. Locked in.
As per usual. Locked down. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
Locked in, dude.
What up, baby? Told you guys.
Told you guys. Super, just fucking totally locked in. Bro runs an OnlyFans agency, by the way. Yeah, so this is basically a phone sex operator call center. Bro's running a sex talk sweatshop. If your boys aren't fucking locked in, talking dirty to incels on the internet, you need to get some new boys. Fellas, this is who you're talking to on OnlyFans in the DMs. You aren't talking to Sophie Rain in the DMs. You're sexting Gary the entrepreneur, bro. Who's fucking locked in. Locked in, dude. Imagine you sign up for this guy's course thinking you're about to achieve financial freedom, and instead you're sexting Feet Lover 69 and asking him what his favorite sex position is on a Monday afternoon. Bro is selling a course teaching men how to talk dirty to lonely guys on the internet, you know? A PPP scam, a pseudo pussy Ponzi scheme. Just put the OF link in the bio, in the bag, bro. Yeah. Just put the link tree in the bag, bro, yeah? Look at this absolute fucking insufferable douchebag.
This isn't what you're walking into when you get over to your boy's house. You need new friends. Rico's on a call. Elias
Rico's on a call. Elias is on a call. Nick's on a call. They're just so these guys, these three here are recruiting more sex talk operators for the OnlyFans agency, right? These first.
This isn't what you're walking into when you get over to your boy's house.
Let's talk about the pyramid scheme here. So we got
Elias is on a call.
These guys are recruiting.
Nick's on a call.
Yeah.
Everybody's locked the fuck in.
They're all and they're locked the fuck in, to be clear.
We got more people locked in. Let's see.
These guys are for sure in Florida.
As per usual. Lockdown.
As per usual. And here we have the sex talk operators. Yeah, these guys are just feverishly typing away, asking men to send, you know, what do you want to see from me next? Pretending to be women. Which just, you know, men can't help themselves. You know? Men can't help themselves. Can women have anything without fucking guys coming in to be like, hey, what if we did this and took money off of it from you? Yeah. No. You guys can be, sex work is cool. What if we took 20% off top, yeah? We'll handle all the sexting for you. Yeah, totally fine. We'll just handle all the... I'll just be the LLM for the lonely men. LLM. Lying to lonely men. That's a really good joke. So funny, dude. Just bro's a walking fucking... Just got a pyramid scheme in the crib, you know? They say aliens built the pyramids in Egypt and, you know, across the entire desert, but this guy built the whole pyramid scheme right in his house. Incredible work. All right. Next video. This one's a loaded one. This is a loaded one. I gotta tread carefully here. Let me take a sip of some unbranded water. By the way, we may have a beverage. I don't want to speak too soon. Knock on wood. We might have a branded beverage sponsor coming up here pretty soon. I mean, you guys know this is the fastest growing podcast in the world, right? So naturally, these sponsorships are going to start flowing in. Soon, I'm just going to look like a fucking NASCAR car with just ads all over me. I'm just going to have a fucking giant ad billboard slapped on my forehead. No, we're just kidding. Next video. Let's just get right into it here, shall we? Here we go.
I think it's embarrassing to let your kid just be on a video game for like imagine if like you're having dinner with your grandparents and you let your kid come with an iPad. That's depressing.
Yeah, they have to socialize with each other.
Right.
They have to see what's going on, how's their life been, and all that.
Love that, guys.
Grandparents love talking to their kids.
And you're right. Grandparents love talking to their grandkids.
Don't you kids have school? Don't you have homework to do? Don't you have addition homework to do? Don't you have an alphabet worksheet that's due in class for 3rd grade tomorrow? 2nd grade? I don't know. When do you learn the alphabet? Kindergarten? For kindergarten tomorrow? Dude, these kids are like, what is this?
I think it's embarrassing to let your kid
Just be on a video game for like,
like imagine if like you're having dinner with your grandparents, you let your kid come with an iPad. That's depressing.
Yeah. You know what's more depressing? Making your kids start a podcast and exploiting them on the internet. I mean, look, I'm already insufferable. Imagine if I grew up podcasting or as a content creator instead of playing sports and video games. Imagine if I just like was like, gotta record the podcast today. Now, these kids, I saw this clip and I'm like, I know these kids look fucking familiar. Where have I seen this before? So then I clicked on their profile and I'm like, oh, this video, this was pinned. So this is who these kids are.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I use the bathroom based on how I was born. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know that the national debt and inflation is stealing our future. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know that we are a constitutional republic and not a mob-ruled democracy. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I believe that when you take out a loan, you should pay it back. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know that we should be giving people a hand up instead of a hand out. I'm a conservative kid. I think that crime should be, illegal?
You're not a conservative kid. You aren't a conservative. You're 12. Maybe younger. You're 10 years old. You aren't any political party yet because you don't even know what you're talking about. You're not a conservative kid. You're a conservatives kid. You're indoctrinated. This is so bizarre. And frankly, dare I say, disgusting? Not because of what he's saying. Like, I don't give a fuck that it's Republican talking points. But you've got your child parroting your beliefs on social media so you can grow your brand? And huh? Move over, dance moms. Introducing podcast dads. Introducing content creator dads. You know, back in my day, we used to have over-controlling sports dads that wanted their kids to be elite athletes. Now what? Ben, read the script about border crossings again. Read it again, Ben. That's a deep cut for my OG fans. I mean, you got your kids going over conservative flashcards in the living room. Bizarre. So weird. And for the record, I will be saying this no matter what the fuck these kids are talking about politically. Like an overly liberal child podcast. Weird. You will never be the MD Foodie Boys. You want to talk about adolescent podcasting? You want to watch a masterclass on adolescent podcasting? That's the kind of content that you should be putting out there. No, I'm just kidding. You shouldn't be putting out any podcasting content because you're 10. You're a prepubescent boy. I don't want to hear your thoughts on Medicare. Here's another, perhaps the most bizarre clip.
What advice would you give to parents and their children when they say that they want to transition?
That's a serious one. Short answer is don't. Longer answer is if you're a parent, you've got a child who's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old who says, I'm transgender, I want to transition, something along those lines, man, that's probably a serious cry for help. Why is my child feeling this way? More likely than not, there's something very alarming going on with your kid. If I'm the parent and my child says that, I for sure am not going to send them down a path of medicalization.
Hey, quick question for you, conservative Louis C.K. What advice do you have for parents if your child says they want to transition to a podcaster at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old? I want you to picture this. You're a 45-year-old man and your wife is like, honey, dinner's ready. And you go, 1 second, honey. Remember, I have that Zoom podcast with that 11-year-old I have to do. Yeah, honey, I'll be right down. I just got to talk about child transitioning and hormone blockers with an 11-year-old for his podcast. Yeah, I got a fucking call coming in. Yeah, 1 second, honey. It's my girlfriend calling. Yeah, 1 second, honey. You know I'm doing that podcast with that 11-year-old where I'm talking about hormone blockers? Yeah, let me give you a call right back. Bizarre behavior. Indoctrination. Strange. Let me tell you something. If you don't think children under 18 should be allowed to transition because they aren't fully developed adults yet, then they also shouldn't be allowed to have a political podcast. For the same reason, you don't have enough life experience to discuss geopolitics. Your brain isn't developed enough to discuss the nuance of government spending and tariffs. Go play Roblox and Fortnite. Go join a soccer team like every other young white boy. Okay? Like, what type of fucking bizarre Black Mirror episode are we living in? Where I, a 30-something-year-old man, go on my Instagram algorithm and I've got 4 kids discussing politics on my fucking feed. What does that say about me? Oh, I know that I have to consume the most insufferable content on the internet because I have to make fun of it on my show. And to be clear, I'm not making fun of these kids because I'm not going to make fun of a kid. He doesn't know any better. These kids are going to fucking, you know, like when girls like go to like Catholic school because their parents are scared that they're going to like wild out and then they just turn out to be the wildest. Or like when Amish kids have their Rumspringa, whatever the fuck it's called, and then they just like go do crack cocaine with the prostitute in a motel immediately. Like that's what's going to happen to these kids. They're going to become fucking Dean Withers on steroids. Okay, moving on to our last video. We're going to just change the tune a little bit here for this one. Here we go.
How does one initiate cuckolding? Or any new kink for that matter? Communicate. There is no better way. Just be direct. I literally straight up asked my ex-boyfriend, how would you feel about me hooking up with other guys? Literally just like that. He reacted not well. He was like, just the thought of that disgusts me. I'm not joking. He lost his appetite. He was literally in the middle of lunch. He was like, I can't even finish my food just thinking about that. I was like, okay, boundaries understood. I will not ask again. I never brought it up again. Never even thought about it. Totally respected it. But hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
It doesn't hurt to ask. It absolutely does hurt to ask. I mean, imagine asking your boyfriend, hey, how would you feel about me getting fucked by another guy in front of you? Hey, honey, quick question. Would you be interested in me fucking another guy? Is that cool with you? It doesn't hurt to ask. Hey, I got something for you for your birthday. I think it'd be a fun way to spice up our relationship. Oh, you got me a chair? Yeah, it's a cuck chair. How do you feel about sitting in it while I get dicked down by a stranger? Cool with you? Thoughts? Yes, no? Adam 22? Type beat? Adam 22 chic? Ladies, feel free to ask this. Just know you're playing Russian roulette with your relationship, with 5 bullets in the chamber. I mean, the absolute audacity of this clip And the blissful unawareness, the lack of emotional intelligence in this clip is astonishing.
How does one initiate cuckolding? Or any new kink for that matter? Communicate. There is no better way. Just be direct. I literally straight up asked my ex-boyfriend, how would you feel about me hooking up with other guys? Literally just like that. He reacted not well.
Yeah.
He was like, just the thought of that disgusts me. I'm not joking. He lost his appetite. He was literally in the middle of lunch. He was like, I can't.
Just in the middle of bro just sat down to his joy to like enjoy his lunch, you know? Bro just sat down to enjoy his lunch and you're like, hey, hope you're enjoying that hamburger. That reminds me, how would you feel about me putting another man's meat between my buns while you watch? Would that be something you're interested in? Hey, I know you just sat down to enjoy your food. Before you take another bite, you down to be a cuck? She says being direct is the way, but I disagree. Ladies, try being a little more subtle, you know? Hey, you know what would taste great on that burger? Polynesian sauce. Would you like that? Would you maybe would you be interested in that? Would you be maybe into some Polynesian? Some Polynesian sauce? I could go to Chick filled up by a guy A on the corner and grab some Polynesian sauce. Is that something you might be down with? Maybe. God, fellas, if your girlfriend asks you this, it's time to break up. Right then and there. That's it. Because first, she asked permission. And then it reminds me of that Al Pacino quote. I asked God for a bike, but then I remembered he was busy. So I stole the bike and asked for forgiveness. I mean, just the thought that your girl is thinking about getting dick down constantly by somebody else and communicating that to you. You know? Now, look, I want to be clear. I don't kink shame. And if you're into that, totally fine. You're still going to catch these jokes, but that's okay. Not going to kink shame. However, some adults aren't poly. They're just trying to dress their hoe phase up with condiments. Do you know what I mean? They're just drowning their hoe phase in ketchup and mustard and mayo. You know, like the burger that he was eating when she asked him if she could fuck other guys. Kind of like that. I mean, why do you think he's your ex-boyfriend? Anyway. Guys, that's going to conclude our show this week. I want to thank you for tuning in to Good Luck with Gino. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit that like button, smash the fuck out of that subscribe button, save it to your device, and send it to a loved one and or an enemy. If you're watching on Spotify, maybe one day you'll be able to remix my podcast and put it out. That'd be cool, huh? Maybe I could monetize that. You could speed up my podcast, put out a sped up version. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, you're going to go ahead and hit that like button, smash the ever-loving cuckolding fuck out of that subscribe button right in front of your other favorite YouTube channel. Yeah? Maybe you have another podcast you're subscribed to and you ask that podcast, hey, do you mind if I smash the fuck out of another man's podcast subscription button right in front of you? Is that fine? You're going to do that. And then you're going to go ahead and lube up that algorithm by leaving a comment. Because you're a poly oil man. God, I'm so good at podcasting. Are you kidding me? Wow. And so humble. And until next week, as the world continues to just fumble and crumble beneath our feet, good night. And, well, good luck.
Everybody listen close. There's a brand new show.
What's the name of that?
Good
right, with who?
Gino.
That's me.
It's gonna get you moving, get you in the zone. Good luck, good vibes, good times. With Gino by your side, you'll be feeling fine.
Woo!
Every week,
Come on.
he's gonna bring the hype. So come on, let's go tune in online. Good luck, good vibes, good times. With Gino, it's gonna be a real delight. So get ready to laugh, learn and grow. Good luck, let's go.
Bitch.